Real quick before this video starts, I just want to say that you should follow my Album of the Year page. We just passed 100 followers on there, and I'm trying to pass ARTV in followers. That's right, John, I'm coming for your spot. So yeah, run it up. Link in the description. Go follow me. You can see early reviews for all of these Zeppelin albums when I first listened to them, so definitely check it out. With that being said, enjoy the video. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Human Reviews channel, and today we're continuing the Led Zeppelin series. We are now on Houses of the Holy. We are now less than 2 weeks away from Christmas, by the way, as of when I'm filming this, so the Santa hat is going to be a thing for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, expect a Santa hat for the next, like, I don't know, 3-4 reactions, maybe 5, I don't know how many. Yeah, Houses of the Holy. This one is an interesting one. This is a well-received album, you know, same as the vast majority of their first albums, but Anthony Fantano, the person whose clone I am a clone of, has this album in the C tier on his Led Zeppelin tier list, which is interesting. I thought that he had, like, all of their earliest albums, like, all up to Physical Graffiti, in, like, A or higher on that list, but I recently rewatched it and saw he put this one in the C tier. So I'm kind of interested going into this one. I'm interested to see what he doesn't see in it. This album came out in 1973. 8 tracks, 40 minutes, literally in line with all of their first handful of albums besides, was it Zeppelin 3 that was 10 tracks? I am just going to get straight into this. Track 1, song remains the same. Their first experiments with funk, huh? Hold on a sec. I think it might be my internet. Hold on, I think my Wi-Fi is having some problems right now. Having fucking this just utter cunt spamming in the chat. And I've got Wi-Fi issues on top of that. This is going smoothly already. Exactly. Max is to blame for this, okay? Any problems, Max is to blame. This is looking to be my least favorite opener on any Zeppelin album up to this point. This song is good, but it kind of lacks the immediacy that I think all of their openers to their other albums have, where every other album has had like such like crazy impactful opening statements, like particularly Zeppelin 3 starts off with like Immigrant Song. This song just kind of feels like it's a good track, but it doesn't feel like it is leaving that much of an impact right now. It's just sort of like, yeah, the song's solid, but I don't know, there's nothing that's really gripping me up to this point. Nice halftime here. That's pretty cool. I'm liking these cleaner guitar tones as well. Adding some nice variety to the sound here. I really, honestly don't like what they're doing with the vocals on this song. Like, I think that the vocals here are so awkward. The layering doesn't feel like it matches the tone of the song at all. And it's also Robert Plant's performance just... As much as I've praised him for being like a very over-the-top performer, this feels like it's pushing it a little bit. This feels like it's maybe leaning into it a little bit too much, and it kind of just feels like the song loses any... I don't know, it loses any sense of seriousness. Having the context of the previous 4 albums and how strong every single one of them opens, and then just having a song like this that just, I don't know, doesn't really leave any impression. Plant's voice also changed due to chord surgery. They were trying to find the right balance for it. Damn, that is, yeah, that's really affected this so strongly. That is, damn. You like the song a lot, but that's how you feel? Yeah, I don't know. This one just isn't really leaving that much of an impression, I guess. It just feels like a weaker version of what they've done on the previous albums, doing like, trying to do cool stuff with the vocals, trying to have this very up-tempo, fast-paced opener. But it just doesn't feel like it's done anywhere near as strong. And it's difficult not to compare to previous albums, especially since we've just had Zeppelin 4, which is easily, without a shadow of a doubt, the best in their discography up to this point. Like, I think that album's nearly perfect. Yeah, I'm feeling... I'd still give that song a flat 7. I think the positives do strongly outweigh the negatives. I love the instrumental on this track. I think that there are some cool like writing moments throughout this song as well. And for the most part, I do find it to be an enjoyable experience. And when listening front to back, I definitely wouldn't skip it. I would never come back to this song on its own, especially in comparison to, say, like an Immigrant Song or other openers in their back catalog up to this point. So yeah, it gets a flat 7 for me. Still a good song, not bad by any means, but just a couple of things that hold it back from me returning to the song individually. Up next, the Rain song. 7.5 minutes. Alright. Zeppelin fight, yeah. Maybe this album's gonna be a 0 out of 10. Nah, it won't. I don't know, that song kind of feels like, I don't know, it feels like them trying to find their footing on a new album, I guess. But just not doing it as well. Maybe they'll pick it up on later tracks. Very pretty intro. Whoa. Okay. I fucking love what they're doing with the strings here. It literally sounds like an old record player. It sounds like a vinyl being played on a really old record player. That sounds so fucking cool. Wait, it's a mellotron? Is it? It sounds like a really shittily recorded string arrangement. And I mean shittily recorded in a good way, by the way. George Harrison challenged him to do a ballad, huh? Damn, the guitar tones on this one as well are fucking incredible. Really? Harrison hated the first album. The first album's definitely not their strongest. Oh, it's John Paul Jones on the mellotron, okay. Damn, playing with the brushes. It's so weird to hear John Bonham, who, like, yes, I'm so used to hearing his drums just being like this commanding, big, larger-than-life presence on a song, and then having him just playing the brushes on this one. It's a nice change of pace. I guess that's just overdubs with him playing with actual sticks there. I did see that, yeah, the song is on Physical Graffiti, which is very interesting. I don't think it's quite 10 out of 10. It's cruising in like the 9 range for me right now. Whoa. Holy shit. What a great build. Oh, with a full orchestra? Yeah, this would go crazy with a full orchestra, yeah. Favorite Zeppelin song? Up to this point? I'm not sure. I don't think I have a definitive favorite up to this point. Nice. Great step up from the first song. I honestly think this could have been the opener. The way the song starts, it sounds like a book opening. Honestly, with the context of now hearing the Rain song, the song remains the same. Doesn't make any sense as an opener. But interesting track placement, I guess. I still think Song Remains the Same is good, but why is it the opener? Honestly, I think he could have had these two songs switched around. This would be a fucking crazy statement to start this album off on, especially considering how fast-paced most of their all of their opening songs are on previous albums, how big and bombastic they are. Having one like this that's more of like a powerful ballad to sort of feel like it's just like fucking breaking the door down, I guess, if that makes sense, to start the album. I don't know. I'm using stupid fucking analogies. Basically, this song should have been the opener, in my opinion. This is a solid to high 9 for me, like a 9.6, 9.7. This is fucking fantastic. Not my absolute favorite song by them or anything like that, but this is just an insanely powerful, gorgeously arranged ballad with some absolutely stunning writing. The vocals are a big step up on this one as well. I like that the band are sort of restraining themselves a lot. Again, particularly John Bonham choosing to use brushes on this song, having a much more subtle, I guess, laid-back drum sound. I will say that I guess the thing that holds it back is, again, the context of this coming after the song remains the same. I think the songs back-to-back in that order don't work, and I do think it genuinely does hurt this song a little bit, because it does kind of feel like just a complete fucking gear shift out of nowhere. But all in all, I still think it's a great song. Think it works really well live? Maybe a live performance of the two songs back-to-back might work a bit better, yeah. But I guess album context, just the way they are in these studio recordings, they just don't make much sense back-to-back. Still a great song, though. I think that song's damn near perfect, honestly. Up next, we have Over the Hills and Far Away. Isn't this a nursery rhyme? Is it? I'm not too sure.
Maybe that enough? Oh, darling, darling, darling.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess the Over the Hills and Far Away thing. Maybe that is on this song taken from that nursery rhyme then, yeah. No, I remember hardly anything about this song. I sent this one in on stream a while ago. I barely remember any of this. I said it was mid. I kind of said it was mid. It's on my liked songs. Hey, on acoustic guitar, something else. Yeah, I agree. I'm liking this so far. This song, I'll get to the song in a sec. I'll let this outro play out. I hardly remembered anything about that song, to be honest. I've heard it before, obviously, been sent it in on streams. And I've probably just heard it in passing before as well, because it's a fucking massive song. But yeah, I didn't really remember much about it. And coming back to it, I still think it's a great track. But, I don't know, this one, Over the Hills and Far Away, that's like a song that when you hear Led Zeppelin, that's one of like their most talked about songs. I don't really see it. It's a great track. I'm gonna start with like the general score I would give it. I'd give it an 8.3, I think. It's still a great song. I'd come back to it on its own. Wouldn't skip it in album context. But this, one of their best? Really? I don't see it. Especially in comparison to what was going on Zeppelin 4. This kind of just feels like, not necessarily a step back, but it feels like a more low-key version of that. This album is very, I will say, low-key so far. It's just them kind of, after making the fucking masterpiece of Zeppelin 4, it just feels like them taking a bit of a step back and just making a more chill release. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be their best album, I guess. And that's not a bad thing at all. I think that they are allowed to just make a solid album. And that's what this is so far. It's solid. Over the Hills and Far Away. Some great riffs, really cool, breathtaking guitar effects going on throughout that song. Like the blending of the acoustic and electric guitar. Easily the best Robert Plant vocal performance up to this point as well. I just don't think it's one of their absolute best, you know? I think it's just a solid 8 out of 10 track. No real problems on it for me. I just wasn't the most impressed by it. You know? The Crunge is a tribute to James Brown, Bonzo, and John Paul Jones are animals. This song, I'm going to actually show the album of the year here. This song is not, oh, for fuck's sake. This song is not well received at all. This has a 64 user score. I am concerned. Seeing a 64 on a Led Zeppelin track, that is concerning. I don't know what this is. I've never heard this. It's like the least streamed song on the album by a lot as well. Zeppelin hater arc incoming, yeah. Oh god, here we go. The Crunge. What the fuck is this? What? I mean, I don't hate this. It's just, I don't get this. Okay. You're kind of getting the funk influence. Yeah, it's funky. You're getting the funk influences on this one. I'm gonna be real. The song kind of, recording wise and mixing wise, kind of sounds like shit. There is no balance here. I'm actually confused by this one. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it sounds like a demo, yeah. The keys don't fit either. I'm not stoned enough to get it yet. I don't know. I don't smoke weed, you know, so I guess this one isn't designed for me. I think the band love this song a lot. I understand why they love this. As a band, this would be a really fun song to make. Song makes more sense if you know the source material. It's not even a thing, by the end it wasn't even a thing of it making sense. It was more of a thing of just everything on that song being just so unbalanced. Like, I left that song so confused by every choice. It's not that every choice felt like the wrong choice necessarily. It felt like the most confusing choice to possibly make. Yeah, the singing was off. The synths didn't fit. The bass was way too blown out. The drums felt like they were like constantly on the brink of falling over. Maybe on a re-listen, I'll like this song more, but on a first listen here, I left that song interested, but also very confused. I'm feeling a low 5 on that one, like a 5.3. It's not bad. I'm just kind of down the middle on it because of just how fucking weird that song is. Up next, Dancing Days. It was a groundbreaking album at the time. Really? I'm actually interested. In what way was this one groundbreaking? I can see it for like Zeppelin 1 and 2, and then probably Zeppelin 4 as well, but this one, I'm not really getting the groundbreaking aspect of this up to this point. It just feels like a collection of like solid songs, but it doesn't really feel like it's pushing the needle in any way, you know? These songs are good. You know, I'm not disliking this out. I think this is actually another very solid album up to this point. But I'm not getting the same, like, groundbreaking thing that I was getting on Zeppelin 1, Zeppelin 2, and Zeppelin 4, if that makes sense. If anything, it feels like them just taking a little step back and making something fun. Context of 1973. Yeah, but in what specifically about it makes it groundbreaking? I'm hearing a lot of this, and it just seems in line with their first four, except just not quite as refined. Guitars are great on this one. That is one thing I'll give this song. The guitars are easily the standout. Kind of like a Rolling Stones song, kind of. Decent bounce back after the previous track, I suppose. That's a fun song. It's not really one that I'd see myself coming back to casually, because I don't feel like it really just had anything that stood out about it. It kind of just felt like a safe enough, funky track, some cool guitar stuff going on. But I don't know, this album is just, outside of the Rain song, this album doesn't really have the same wow factor that I'm used to. It's just a little, it just feels very standard, you know? Sure, they are switching it up a little bit by adding some, like, funk elements in here, but not to a degree that's, like, blowing my mind. It doesn't feel like a complete reinvention of their sound like Zeppelin 3 was. It just kind of feels like them sort of treading the same ground again, just with some minor tweaks, just with some minor implementation of a different sound. And while I'm liking this album, while I think it's good, it definitely does just feel a little like, oh, this is... We just had Zeppelin 4, and now we have this. It's like we're going from up here, like all the way up here, to being here, which is still high, but it's a big step down. And you can kind of feel them trying to find their footing again after making such a monumental release throughout this. That song was fine. It was funky. It was fun. It was a decent track. I'd give this one like another low 7, 7.2, 7.3. But, yeah, I wouldn't really return to that one on its own at all. This video, I'm gonna get shit for this one. Oh god, I am gonna get a fucking list of very, very angry comments. Up next we have the biggest song on the album, actually. We have, Mak'er? Mak'er? How do you say that? Reggae? We get a reggae influence track? Jamaica? Oh, Jamaica. Okay, I see. Okay. I guess that's why it's reggae influenced. Nothing will ever be as bad as that. Bonham hated this song. It is a very abrupt change in style to go from kind of like funky hard rock straight into like a reggae rock song. I like that he has kind of like those different vocal takes making like a little ch sound as like a kind of like a shaker thing. That's pretty cool. Listen to it. We've already done Zeppelin 2. I have a video on that up on my channel right now. He had a difficulty with reggae drumming, really. When you get so used to playing rock drums and then you have like reggae where you gotta like drop the one. Yeah. Why does that guitar sound like that? Jesus. Sounds like it's being like recorded from a completely different room, like down the hall. I just noticed that bass line. Lots of cool stuff going on with the bass here. That was a fun one. That was actually a pretty fun one. If you told me there was a Led Zeppelin song of them, you know, doing reggae rock, I would be like, okay, that's definitely some bullshit off of their later albums that people don't like that much. And that when I get to it, I'm gonna hate it. But no, they actually did that pretty well. It felt like it stayed very true to their style, and I feel like it implemented reggae in a very tasteful way. It didn't feel like on that fucking Elton John song where it's just kind of like the entire way through, you know, you're just kind of sat there like, yikes, this sounds like dog shit. No, here it actually sounded pretty fun. You know, as much as I'm like not as wildly impressed by this album, it is nice to see them at least taking the sound in a kind of different direction, adding funk, adding some reggae on that song as well. It's nice to see they are still branching out, even if it's not like the most abrupt, insane change. I finished listening to Godspeed. Why did I not stop the live stream? Because I'm not stopping the live stream just so you can listen to Godspeed You Black Emperor. Okay? Listening to that's probably better than watching this anyway. Yeah, that song's fun. It's a fun track. 8.4, I think. Not the most mind-blowing thing in the Zeppelin discography, but it's a fun, silly, reggae-influenced track that I think is pretty nice. Up next we have No Quater. Starting with the electronics? Interesting. Whoa. Nice bass hit there. He had some stepped hi-hats going on there a second ago. They were really subtle. They were really nice there. Kind of added some extra texture to the drums. The volume is cranked all the way up, but I don't do drugs, I'm afraid. So that's a step that's not a step I'm willing to take in my life just for the sake of this album, unfortunately.
No, they won't be home tonight.
That's actually genuinely unsettling vocal effect. That'll be in the, yeah, exactly. When I'm in my mid-30s and I've become washed. Also, if I have to take another substance to be able to enjoy the music, that's not a good sign about the music, you know? If the music's only good when your brain is literally fried, then, you know. That's not me saying the album's bad, by the way. The album's still good. Even when I'm not, you know, fucking baked. Was not expecting the piano, nice. These electronics are really well implemented as well. Actually aged pretty great. Sound really nice. Very menacing bass tone as well. So like rattly. Playing 16ths on the hi-hat. You don't see John Bonham doing that a lot. That's pretty cool. Very satisfying soloing over that section as well. Exactly. Okay, see now that was pretty incredible. Seriously. That song felt like it was that same, like, astonishing, insanely impressive type feel that I get from, say, like, songs off of Zeppelin 4. My mum's calling me, give me a sec. What was I saying? God damn it, always have to, there's always at least one distraction, there's always one. For the Ocean, I should watch the MS373 live video. Or audio only, so much better. Now we gotta listen to the album version. We gotta be fair and choose a version that gets put on the album. If I listen to if I listen to like a different version, then I'm not. That's not fair on like the album as a whole. Because I'm not judging the album. I'm judging the album with specifically cherry picked best versions of the song. You know. Yeah, that song's fucking incredible. Seriously, that is just so effectively unsettling. And just so odd. There is just something, it feels like just listening to someone on like the brink of death, just telling like this fucked up, horrific story or something like that. The vocal effect was like actually genuinely unnerving. It's so fucking effective, seriously, like shockingly so. I also think that just how grand and how larger than life and wide in scope this song is They do it so well on here, like even better than they did on the Rain song, in my opinion. That song literally felt like it was just this big, massive, sweeping thing, in the same way that, again, songs off of like Zeppelin 2 and Zeppelin 4 were, and done just to like the same effect. It had just as much impact. That one is like a 9.8 to a 10. That is like what I've been waiting for this whole album right there. That was like, that is worth it for everything else, just to get a song like that. That is a practically perfect track. No complaints from me. Last up, final song, we have The Ocean. Okay, you get a bar of, you get a 4/4 and then a bar of 7. All the songs are better live. Yeah, it does seem like this. Most of the songs on here would be a lot better live. Stole this song from the Beastie Boys. Yeah. Having that one bar of 7 in there just makes the song feel so fucking unstable. Almost to a fault, to be honest. 13, wait, really? Damn. What up, everyone? Shit. Whoa. Okay. That bass tone's fucking disgusting, Jesus. Great fucking solo in here as well. Fucking doing doo-wops in the background, that's pretty fun. Hey. Ending on one of the stronger notes. Nice. Pretty great closer. Nice. Album definitely ends on one of its strongest points. Absolutely. That song was just a big, boisterous, I don't know, just dumb fun way to finish this, you know? It's got a really heartfelt performance. It's one of the better written songs on the album up to this point. Great fucking soloing throughout this one. Cool fills and shit from John Bonham. I like how just uneasy and unsteady it feels, having been in 4/4 and then having a random bar of 7 after that. Kind of gives it sort of like a stopping and starting kind of feel, almost to a fault. At certain points, it did get maybe a little bit on my nerves a couple of times throughout the song, just feeling like the song is very uneven, but for the most part, I didn't really mind it. Great way to finish. Hey, this album definitely ends on its 2 strongest notes in my opinion. Well, 2 of its strongest notes. That one's a flat 9 for me. Very, very strong way to close this. Just a delightful, silly, fun song. No complaints for me. It was kind of like a Zeppelin 4 song. Yeah, it reminded me of Zeppelin 4. Yeah, that was Led Zeppelin 5. Houses of the Holy. This is not Led Zeppelin 5, it's Houses of the Holy. Yeah, great album, honestly. Listen, for the problems that I did have with this album, which there were a few, it's still a great album, regardless. I think it's mainly just because this came right after Zeppelin 4, which is just a literal masterpiece. Such an insane statement of an album to just have out there, especially after Zeppelin 3 as well. This one feels like a minor step back, but it's still a fun album regardless. It has plenty of great songs. It's going to be a very re-listenable album, I think. I imagine it will probably grow on me on a re-listen. I think it was mainly just an adjusting thing after having, you know, Zeppelin 4 being the previous one, I guess. So it might grow on me a little bit on a re-listen. Perhaps the best way to describe this album is it has a promising start, but because of Rain song in the middle, it gets a little shy, but ends very well with the last 2 tracks. Yeah. I feel like another thing with this album is I feel like it could have leaned into the funk a little bit more. There is funk influence here, definitely, but I feel like they could have done more with it, you know? You get the Crunge and Dancing Days, which are 2 kind of funky tracks, and then Jamaica, which I'm guessing, based on what I've been told is how you say that, Jamaica is like a full-on reggae rock track. I wish they did more stuff like that, where it's just them just trying something completely new, completely different. But a lot of this felt like just kind of standard Zeppelin, just not quite on the same level as the previous albums. I will say this is definitely, up to this point, probably my least favorite, but not by a large margin or anything. This is far from a bad album. Compared to most albums, this thing is definitely a diamond in the rough. This is still a great album regardless. I don't think it's bad. It's just my least favorite up to this point. I am going to add up the scores, and then I will tell you what the big number for the album is. I am feeling an 8.1 out of 10 on this album. Still an 8 out of 10. It's still great. Okay, Led Zeppelin have yet to have an album beneath an 8 out of 10 for me. I'd still put this handily as an A tier album, you know? It just, you know, it has its flaws. Definitely the weakest of the bunch up to this point, but it's still great. It's like Led Zeppelin are still one of the most like consistent bands discography wise, especially listening to all of their shit in order. They're just a consistent band, man. They're just all of their shit is just so damn fun. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think of this album down below and how does it compare to other Zeppelin albums for you. Check out all of my other reactions to the Zeppelin albums. I have them all in the playlist, or you can just find them on my recently uploaded videos. We're going to be doing the rest of their albums as well. Let me know what other albums you'd like to see me listen to in the future as well. Links in the description to my Discord, my album of the year, my Twitter, and my second channel. Check those out if you haven't. Like and sub if you haven't as well, on our way to 2K. And yeah, I will see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye bye.